The vast chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with activity. Hundreds of alien species from across the universe gathered here. They all looked different. Some had tentacles, others had multiple eyes, and a few even floated in the air. But they all shared one thing. They thought they were the smartest beings in the galaxy. At the center of the chamber stood High Counselor Zix. He was tall, with blue skin and 4 arms. Zix looked at the giant screen in front of him. It showed a small blue and green planet. "Fellow council members," Zix said in a loud voice, "today we talk about Earth." The room got quiet. Everyone looked at the screen. "Earth is a small planet," Zix continued. "Its people are primitive. They have not even left their solar system yet. We think it's time to bring them into our galactic empire." Many council members nodded. They all thought Earth would be easy to conquer. Councillor Blore, a blob-like creature, spoke up. "But High Counselor, shouldn't we study them more? We don't know much about humans." Zix laughed. "Blorb, always so careful. What's there to know? They're just starting to use computers. Their weapons are simple. They fight among themselves all the time. They'll be no match for us." The council members all agreed. They thought humans were weak and stupid. "Let's vote," Zix said. "Who wants to add Earth to our empire?" Almost every hand, or tentacle, or wing in the room went up. The decision was made. They would invade Earth. What the Galactic Council didn't know was that they were making a big mistake. They thought Earth was weak, but they were wrong. Far away, on the little blue and green planet, humans were not as simple as the aliens thought. For years, Earth's best scientists had been listening to space. They had heard the aliens talking. They knew the Galactic Council was out there. In secret labs deep underground, human engineers were building amazing new technologies. They had spaceships hidden on the dark side of the moon. These ships were faster and stronger than anything the Galactic Council had. Earth's military leaders had been planning for this day. They knew that one day aliens might come, and they were ready. General Sarah Chen sat in a top-secret room under the Pentagon. Screens all around her showed Earth's defenses, satellites in space, hidden bases on Mars, and powerful weapons that no one knew about. "They're coming," she said to her team. "But they don't know what they're in for." Back in the Galactic Council chamber, Zix was feeling very proud. He thought conquering Earth would be easy. He imagined how great he would look when he added another planet to the empire. "Send the first wave," he ordered. "Let's show these humans who's in charge of the galaxy." As the Galactic Council's ships started moving towards Earth, Zix and the other aliens were excited. They thought this would be an easy win. They had no idea that the humans were waiting for them. They didn't know that Earth had technology that could surprise even the oldest and wisest species in the galaxy. The stage was set. The Galactic Council, in their pride, had made a big mistake. They had underestimated humanity. Now they were about to learn a lesson they would never forget. As the alien ships got closer to Earth, General Chen and her team watched their screens. They saw the enemy coming. But unlike the aliens, the humans weren't scared. They were ready. "Let them come," General Chen said with a smile. "We'll show them what Earth can do." The Galactic Council thought they were starting an easy invasion. But really, they were walking into a trap. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and it would shock the entire galaxy. Deep under the Rocky Mountains, a hidden base buzzed with activity. This was the heart of Earth's secret space program. Here, humans worked day and night to get ready for the alien invasion they knew was coming. Dr. Emily Wong, the lead scientist, stood in front of a massive computer screen. It showed a 3D map of the solar system. Tiny dots moved across the screen. The alien ships were getting closer. "How much time do we have?" asked Colonel Jack Harper. He was in charge of Earth's new Space Force. Dr. Wong checked her calculations. 3 days, maybe 4. They're moving fast. Colonel Harper nodded. "Then we better move faster." In another part of the base, Engineers were putting the final touches on Earth's secret weapon. It looked like a normal satellite, but it was much more. This device could create a force field around the whole planet. "Is it ready?" Colonel Harper asked the chief engineer. "Yes, sir," the engineer replied. "We can turn it on at any time. The aliens won't know what hit them." Meanwhile, in labs all over the world, scientists were working on other projects. Some were making new kinds of guns that could shoot through alien armor. Others were creating medicines to protect against alien diseases. In Australia, a team was training animals to help in the fight. Dogs that could smell aliens from miles away. Birds that could spy on enemy ships. Even dolphins with special equipment to guard the oceans. Under the Pacific Ocean, submarines were getting ready. These weren't normal subs. They could fly in space. The aliens would never expect an attack from under the water. Back at the mountain base, Dr. Wong was teaching a computer to understand alien languages. "If we can talk to them," she said, "maybe we can end this without too much fighting." But Colonel Harper wasn't so sure. "We have to be ready for anything," he said. In orbit around Earth, hidden space stations were waking up. For years, they had looked like broken satellites. Now, they came to life, their weapons ready. On the far side of the moon, a secret base opened its doors. Out came ships that no one on Earth knew about. They were fast, strong, and full of surprises. All over the planet, soldiers trained with new weapons. They learned how to fight in zero gravity. They practiced using suits that could make them invisible. In Africa, a team was setting up a special communication system. It used quantum technology that the aliens couldn't intercept. Now, Earth's forces could talk to each other without the enemy listening. Underground farms were growing special food. This food had medicines in it to make people stronger and healthier. Everyone would need to be at their best for the coming fight. In the Arctic, scientists were waking up an AI they had been working on for years. This AI was smarter than any computer the aliens had. It would help Earth make decisions faster than the enemy could think. As the alien ships got closer, Earth's leaders met in a secret bunker. They knew the next few days would decide the fate of humanity. "Are we ready?" asked the President of the United States. General Chen nodded. "As ready as we'll ever be. The aliens think we're weak, but we have surprises waiting for them at every turn." The leaders looked at each other. They knew the fight ahead would be hard, but they also knew that humans were tougher than the aliens thought. "Then let's show them what Earth can do," said the President. As the meeting ended, alerts went off around the world. The alien ships had entered the solar system. They were passing Neptune, then Uranus. They would reach Earth soon. But Earth was ready. In bases and labs, on ships and in bunkers, humans prepared for the biggest fight in their history. The aliens thought they were coming to conquer an easy target. Instead, they were flying into a trap. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and it would change the galaxy forever. The sky over Earth turned dark. Thousands of alien ships filled the air. They looked like giant metal insects, their weapons glowing with strange energy. On the ground, people looked up in fear and wonder. High Counselor Zix stood on the bridge of his flagship. He smiled as he looked at the blue planet below. "This will be easy," he thought. "These humans won't know what hit them." The alien ships started to move down. They were ready to start their attack. But then something strange happened. Suddenly, a bright blue light flashed around the whole Earth. The alien sensors went crazy. They couldn't see through it. "What's happening?" Zix shouted. "Where did this force field come from?" On Earth, in the secret mountain base, Dr. Emily Wong smiled. "The shield is working," she said. "They didn't expect that. The aliens tried to shoot at the force field. Their weapons just bounced off. They couldn't get through." Zix was angry. "Send in the ground troops," he ordered. "We'll break through this shield." Alien ships landed in fields and cities. Strange creatures came out, holding weird guns. They thought they would scare the humans easily. But the humans were ready. As soon as the aliens landed, they were met with surprising resistance. In New York, a group of aliens tried to take over Times Square, but they didn't know about the special defenses hidden in the buildings. Suddenly, all the big screens turned into weapons. They shot out energy beams that knocked the aliens down. In Tokyo, the aliens found themselves fighting against giant robots. These robots had been hidden underground, waiting for this day. The aliens' weapons couldn't even scratch the robots' armor. Over in the Amazon rainforest, the aliens got a real shock. They thought the forest would be easy to conquer, but the trees and plants came alive. Scientists had created special plants that could fight back. Vines wrapped around alien soldiers, and flowers shot out sleeping gas. In the oceans, the aliens tried to set up underwater bases, but they met Earth's secret sea force. Submarines that could fly shot out of the water. Dolphins with special gear disrupted the alien sonar. Even the whales helped, their huge bodies smashing alien ships. Zix couldn't believe what was happening. "How are they doing this?" he shouted. "They're supposed to be primitive." On Earth, Colonel Jack Harper was leading the Space Force. He gave the order, "Launch the moon ships." Suddenly, from the dark side of the moon, hundreds of Earth ships appeared. They were faster and more advanced than anything the aliens had. They flew circles around the alien fleet, shooting them down one by one. The aliens tried to call for help, but they couldn't. Earth's quantum communication system was blocking all their signals. They were on their own. In Africa, the AI Command Center was working perfectly. It predicted every move the aliens made. Earth's forces were always one step ahead. Zix was getting desperate. "Use the planet destroyer," he ordered. It was their biggest weapon, able to crack a planet in half. The huge ship moved into position. It started to power up. On Earth, people held their breath. But then, from high above, something incredible happened. The International Space Station, which everyone thought was just for science, transformed. Hidden panels opened up, revealing a massive energy cannon. As the alien planet destroyer was about to fire, the space station shot first. A huge beam of energy hit the alien ship. There was a blinding flash, and then the planet destroyer was gone. Zix couldn't believe his eyes. "Impossible," he shouted. All around the world, the aliens were losing. Their ships were falling from the sky. Their soldiers were surrendering. In just one day, Earth had done the impossible. They had beaten back the greatest force in the galaxy. As night fell, the humans began to celebrate. They had won the first battle, but everyone knew this was just the beginning. In his ship, High Counselor Zix was furious. "This isn't over," he growled. "We'll be back, and next time, we'll show no mercy." But on Earth, people weren't afraid anymore. They had faced the greatest threat in history, and they had won. Whatever came next, they would be ready. The sun rose over a changed Earth. Broken alien ships littered the ground. In cities and fields, humans were rounding up the last of the invaders. But this was no time to rest. Earth's leaders knew they had to strike back before the aliens could regroup. In the secret mountain base, General Sarah Chen stood before a giant screen. It showed the position of every Earth ship and every alien vessel. "It's time," she said. "Launch Operation Thunderbolt." Across the planet, hidden doors opened in mountains, deserts, and oceans. Earth's secret fleet rose into the sky. These ships were like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. They were faster, stronger, and smarter than any alien technology. Colonel Jack Harper sat in the captain's chair of Earth's flagship, the Humanity's Hope. He looked at his crew, a mix of the best pilots and soldiers from around the world. "Let's show them what Earth can do," he said. The Earth fleet shot out of the atmosphere. The remaining alien ships tried to stop them, but it was no use. Earth's ships were too fast, too agile. They danced between enemy fire like it was nothing. On his command ship, High Counselor Zix watched in horror. "How is this possible?" he shouted. They were supposed to be primitive. But Earth was full of surprises. As the battle raged in space, more shocks were coming. From the depths of the oceans, giant sea creatures emerged. But these weren't normal animals. They were bioengineered warriors, created by Earth's scientists. Huge tentacles wrapped around alien ships, pulling them into the water. In orbit, Earth's hidden space stations came to life. They fired nets of energy, trapping whole groups of enemy vessels. The aliens found their technology failing, shut down by Earth's advanced systems. Dr. Emily Wong worked furiously at her computer. She had cracked the alien communication code. "I'm in their systems," she said, "sending false orders now." Suddenly, alien ships started firing on each other. Confusion spread through their fleet as they received conflicting commands. But Earth wasn't just fighting with technology. In a secret base in the Amazon, a group of humans with special abilities stepped forward. These were the results of top-secret experiments. Some could move things with their minds. Others could see the future. They joined the battle, using powers the aliens couldn't understand. High above the Earth, the moon opened up. It wasn't just a natural satellite anymore. Inside were massive cannons, hidden for years. They fired, sending beams of energy that cut through the alien fleet. Colonel Harper smiled as he watched the alien ships fall. "Push forward," he ordered. "It's time to take the fight to them." The Earth fleet, led by humanity's hope, shot towards Mars. There they found a hidden alien base. But Earth was ready. From the red sands of Mars, robots built in secret by Earth rose up. They attacked the base from the ground while the ships struck from above. In the asteroid belt, more surprises waited. Earth had turned the floating rocks into weapons. As alien reinforcements tried to come through, the asteroids moved, smashing into their ships. Zix couldn't believe what he was seeing. Earth wasn't just defending itself. It was pushing the Galactic Council back, beating them at every turn. "Retreat," Zix finally ordered. "Back to our territory." As the alien fleet turned to run, Earth's ships followed. They weren't going to stop at the edge of the solar system. This was humanity's chance to show the galaxy what they could do. Colonel Harper looked at the star map. "Set course for the nearest council world," he said. "Let's bring the fight to them." On Earth, people cheered as they watched the news. Screens everywhere showed Earth's ships chasing the aliens away. For the first time, humanity felt united. They weren't just a small planet anymore. They were a force to be reckoned with. In her lab, Dr. Wong smiled as she looked at the data coming in. "We're learning so much," she said. "Every battle teaches us more about their technology. Soon, we'll be centuries ahead of where we were." As Earth's fleet pushed deeper into space, the message was clear. Humanity wasn't just fighting back. They were changing the balance of power in the entire galaxy. And they were just getting started. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was in chaos. Alien leaders from 1,000 worlds shouted and argued. Screens around the room showed Earth's ships advancing through space, unstoppable. High Counselor Zix stood in the center, trying to calm everyone down. "Please," he shouted, "we must unite against this threat." But no one was listening. Some council members wanted to surrender to Earth. Others wanted to use their most powerful weapons, even if it meant destroying whole planets. In one corner, the representatives from the Zorg Empire whispered to each other. "Maybe we should join the humans," one said. "They seem to be winning." Across the room, the delegates from the Tzillian Confederation were panicking. "We should run and hide," they cried. "The humans will destroy us all." Meanwhile, Earth's fleet was getting closer. Colonel Jack Harper stood on the bridge of humanity's hope, looking at the map of Galactic Council space. "Which planet should we target first?" he asked his crew. Dr. Emily Wong, now on board as Chief Science Officer, studied the data. "That one," she said, pointing to a green and purple world. "It's their main fuel production center. If we take it, their whole fleet will be crippled." Back on Earth, General Sarah Chen was coordinating the global defense. Even with the main fleet in space, they had to be ready for any surprise attacks. She looked at reports from around the world. In Africa, the AI Command Center was working overtime. It was predicting possible moves the Galactic Council might make. They might try to attack our sun, the AI warned. We should strengthen our solar defenses. In the oceans, the giant bioengineered creatures were on patrol. They could sense any disturbance in the water, ready to fight off any underwater invasion. The moon base was busy too. Scientists there were studying alien technology from captured ships. "We've figured out they're faster than light drives," one excited researcher reported. "We can build our own now." But not everything was going smoothly for Earth. In a secret lab in Siberia, something was going wrong. The scientists there had been experimenting with alien DNA. Now some of their creations were getting out of control. Monsters that were half human, half alien were breaking free. The local military was fighting to contain them. In space, Colonel Harper's fleet reached the fuel production planet, but they found a surprise waiting. The Galactic Council had set a trap. Hidden ships suddenly appeared all around them. "It's an ambush," shouted the tactical officer. Alarms blared as enemy fire struck humanity's hope. For a moment, it looked bad for Earth's forces. But then, Harper smiled. "Activate the phase shifters," he ordered. Suddenly, all of Earth's ships seemed to flicker. The alien weapons passed right through them. Dr. Wong's latest invention was working perfectly. While the Galactic Council ships were confused, Earth struck back. Their advanced weapons tore through the enemy defenses. In just an hour, the fuel planet was under Earth's control. News of this defeat spread quickly through the Council. More arguments broke out. Some members started to leave, saying they would rather surrender to Earth than stay with the Council. Zix watched helplessly as his alliance fell apart. "We must do something," he shouted, but it was too late. The Galactic Council, which had ruled for thousands of years, was collapsing. On Earth, people celebrated each new victory. Screens in every city showed the latest news from space. Children played with toys of Earth's hero ships. Everyone felt proud to be human. But wise leaders knew the fight wasn't over. In her office, General Chen looked at reports from the front lines. "They're desperate now," she said. "That makes them dangerous. We need to be ready for anything." As Earth's fleet pushed deeper into Council space, the galaxy watched in amazement. The species that everyone thought was primitive was now the most powerful force in space. In the ruins of the Council chamber, Zix made a decision. "Gather every ship we have left," he told his commanders. "We'll make one last stand against Earth. It's our only hope." The stage was set for the biggest battle the galaxy had ever seen. Earth versus the remains of the Galactic Council. The future of every species hung in the balance. The sky over planet Xyrox turned dark. Thousands of ships from both sides filled the space above. This was it, the final showdown between Earth and what was left of the Galactic Council. On the bridge of humanity's hope, Colonel Jack Harper looked at his crew. "This is the moment we've been waiting for," he said. "Let's make Earth proud." Across the battlefield, High Counselor Zix stood on his command ship. He had gathered every ally he had left. "We must win this battle," he told his forces, "or the Council will be no more." Suddenly, alarms blared on both sides. The battle had begun. Laser beams and energy torpedoes lit up space. Ships zoomed between each other, firing and dodging. It was chaos. Earth's fleet showed off all their new tech. Some ships could turn invisible. Others could split into smaller crafts. One huge ship even created black holes to swallow enemy vessels. But the Council had surprises too. They used weapons that could bend time and space. Some ships grew giant tentacles to grab Earth's fighters. Others released swarms of tiny robots that ate through metal. In the middle of the fight, Dr. Emily Wong was working fast. She had hacked into the Council's communication system. "I'm sending fake orders to confuse them," she told Harper. Suddenly, some Council ships started firing on each other. Zix watched in horror as his fleet fell into chaos. "Stop listening to those signals," he shouted. But it was too late. Back on Earth, General Sarah Chen was coordinating the planet's defenses. Alien ships had broken through and were attacking cities, but Earth was ready. In New York, the Statue of Liberty came to life. It was actually a giant robot. It swatted alien ships out of the sky like flies. In Egypt, the pyramids opened up. Inside were powerful energy cannons that shot down incoming enemies. Under the oceans, Earth's giant sea creatures fought against alien watercrafts. Huge tentacles dragged ships into the depths. But the main battle was still in space. Both sides were taking heavy losses. The area around planet Xyrox was filled with broken ships and debris. Colonel Harper knew they needed to end this fast. "Prepare the Nova Bomb," he ordered. This was Earth's most powerful weapon, able to destroy a whole planet. When Zix saw the Nova Bomb, he panicked. "We have to retreat," he yelled. But as he turned to run, something unexpected happened. From the edge of the battle came a new fleet of ships. But these weren't from Earth or the Council. They were from all the planets that had left the Council earlier. "We're here to help Earth," their leader announced. "The Council's time is over. We want to be part of humanity's new alliance." With these new allies joining in, the Council's remaining forces were quickly surrounded. Zix knew it was over. We surrender," he said, his voice shaking. Cheers erupted through Earth's fleet. They had done it. They had beaten the greatest power in the galaxy. As the dust settled, Colonel Harper and Dr. Wong met with the leaders of their new allies. There was a lot to discuss. How would they form this new alliance? What rules would they follow? Meanwhile, Zix and the other council leaders were taken prisoner. They would face trial for their crimes against Earth and other planets. Back on Earth, people poured into the streets to celebrate. Fireworks lit up the sky. In every language, people cheered for their brave forces. But in her office, General Chen was already planning for the future. "We won this war," she said to her staff. "Now we have to win the peace. We need to show the galaxy that we can be good leaders." As the sun set on this historic day, Earth had changed forever. They were no longer just one small planet. They were now the center of a new galactic alliance. The stars, which once seemed so far away, were now within reach. Humanity had taken its first big step into a larger universe, and everyone knew this was just the beginning of a great new adventure. 1 year had passed since Earth's victory over the Galactic Council. The galaxy was a very different place now. On a beautiful space station orbiting Earth, representatives from 100 alien worlds gathered. This was the first meeting of the new Galactic Alliance, with Earth at its center. Colonel Jack Harper, now Admiral Harper, stood at the podium. He looked at the diverse crowd of aliens. Some had tentacles, others had multiple eyes, and a few even floated in the air. But they all looked at him with respect. "Welcome, friends," Harper said. "Today, we start a new chapter in galactic history." Dr. Emily Wong sat nearby, ready to translate for any aliens who didn't understand Earth languages. She had become Earth's top expert on alien cultures. Back on Earth, things had changed too. Cities now had alien visitors walking openly in the streets. Humans and aliens worked together in labs, sharing knowledge and inventions. In New York, the Empire State Building had been rebuilt. It was now twice as tall and made of a special alien metal. At night, it lit up with colors no human had ever seen before. In the Amazon rainforest, a new type of tree grew. It was a mix of earth plants and alien biology. These trees could clean pollution from the air much faster than normal plants. Under the oceans, the giant sea creatures Earth had made for the war now helped with underwater farming. They grew fields of alien plants that could feed millions. But not everything was perfect. In a secret lab in Russia, scientists were still trying to control the alien-human hybrids they had created. These powerful beings were dangerous, but could also be a great help if tamed. On Mars, Earth had built its first big space colony. Thousands of humans lived there now, working with aliens to turn the red planet green. At the Space Academy in orbit, young humans and aliens trained together. They learned to fly the newest ships and use the most advanced weapons. Everyone knew that the galaxy could still be a dangerous place. Admiral Harper continued his speech. "We've come a long way," he said, "but our journey is just beginning. Together, we'll explore new worlds and face new challenges." Suddenly, alarms went off. A huge ship had appeared near Pluto. It wasn't like anything they had seen before. General Sarah Chen, watching from Earth, quickly called Harper. "We're getting a message from the ship," she said. It's from another galaxy." The aliens in the room started talking all at once. This was big news. No one had ever contacted them from outside the galaxy before. Dr. Wong worked fast to understand the message. "They say they're peaceful explorers," she told Harper. "They'd been watching us and want to make contact." Harper looked at the leaders around him. "Well," he said with a smile, "looks like we have our first big test as an alliance. What should we do?" The room buzzed with excitement. Some were scared, others curious. But everyone agreed. They would face this together. On Earth, people watched the news with wonder. Screens everywhere showed the strange new ship. In schools, kids drew pictures of what they thought the aliens might look like. In her lab, Dr. Wong was already preparing to learn a whole new language. "This is why I became a scientist," she said happily. The giant sea creatures sensed something was happening. They swam to the surface and looked up at the sky, as if they could see the far-off ship. Even the alien-human hybrids in Russia seemed to react. They became calmer, as if they felt a connection to the visitors. As the Earth-led fleet moved out to meet the new ship, Harper felt proud. Just a year ago, Earth was alone and unknown. Now they were leading the galaxy into a new age. Whatever happens, he thought, we're ready. Earth has shown it can handle anything. As the ships got closer to the mysterious visitors, everyone in the galaxy held their breath. A new chapter in history was about to begin. And Earth, once thought to be a small, unimportant planet, was now at the center of it all. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. It would be an adventure beyond anything they had imagined.